Hello everyone and welcome back again. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a fast farming build with Wings of Ishmir. Before we get into explaining the build and everything, I quickly want to talk about offline. I've been seeing a lot of talk about offline, and I understand some people are getting frustrated with offline gameplay and losing stuff from their stashes. But I highly recommend to please still play online, and please keep reporting the bugs to Wolcen so that we can help the developers make a good game in the future. If we stop playing online, then that decreases the numbers of people that are sending bug problems or just problems in general that are happening in the game. Okay. Let's continue here. I am playing offline because I'm a theory crafter and I like testing builds out and testing things out, and I can't do that if I lose my stuff from the stash. But I do still have 5 characters on my online, and whenever I play with people, I will be playing online. But for now, I'm offline, and this is an offline character, and this is as well a build that works better offline than it does online, and I'll go over everything with you guys. All right, so Wings of Ishmir, this is the main skill that you're going to be using, and the secondary skill is going to be Sovereign Shout. Okay, so let's first get into the tree. All right, so from the tree, you're gonna go through the soldiers, grab melee weapon damage with critical hit damage. So the character pretty much is based mainly around critical hit damage and attack speed. I'll explain more in a little bit. So melee weapon damage, critical hit damage, melee damage again, and critical hit damage, attack damage, critical hit damage here again, and critical hit chance score. Then we go here for the attack damage and critical hit damage again. Then 15 attack speed score for this node, 15 critical hit chance score, another critical hit chance score here, critical hit chance score here again, and then the big node, which gives 150% critical hit damage, but it reduces all other non-crit damage. 5% movement speed, attack speed score, and spellcasting speed. This is more a little bit of a traveling node, but you still benefit from the attack speed score and the movement speed. Agility, because it gives you attack speed score. We go here for some life. We come down here now. Let me go over this in a minute. Let me continue here. So then we travel here for the attack damage, critical hit damage, ferocity here for more critical strikes. Then we travel here to the retaliator for the 0.75% physical increased damage per physical resistance. Then we grab some resistances here, 15% to all resistance, another 15%, a 10% here with 10% maximum health, and then 20% critical hit damage. We go here for the melee weapon damage, another melee weapon damage, attack damage, and critical hit chance score. We come here for 1 stamina point, and we come here for the stamina regeneration speed. We come up here for attack damage and critical hit chance score. We come here for melee weapon damage and attack damage. We come here for attack damage and another 15% attack damage, 10% to maximum health, 35 health regen, and this node which gives 4% damage for every nearby enemy within 4 meters. So anything that's pretty much close by, you're going to get 4% increase damage, which is a global. So this increases all your damage all your damage dealing from anywhere that you deal. If it's a spell, a melee, it doesn't matter. We come here for the ferocity, and we come here for some global life leech, 2% global life leech. Now, I have these notes here, which is active dodge can go through enemies, and 20 stamina regeneration speed. So stamina regeneration is key for this build. You need to sustain your stamina so that you can pretty much have an infinite amount of stamina. So if I roll, you notice that I lose 1 point, but I regain that point back very quickly. So it allows me to dodge forever, or to be able to use my Wings of Ishmir forever. Now for my attributes page, I put it all into ferocity so I can have a high crit chance score. I feel like having a high crit chance score is very important for this build, considering that you're depending on 1 hit per time, every time you jump in. So the higher your crit chances, the more damage, technically speaking, you're gonna do. So that's where all of my points were spent into. My average damage is 13,653. Now this is the combat page, so this page only applies to your weapon hits. So it does not apply, it has nothing to do with skills. Skills have their own damage counters. So my average damage on Wings of Ishmir is 7,353. And then, you know, you will add all these other things. Critical, so even though it's doing an average of 7,353, I'm actually doing around 10,000 and up. I think up to 12 or 13,000 on a critical hit. All right, let's see again. There's something else I wanted to explain. Okay, so the reason why I have this 20% regen here, and this is more of a traveling node because I don't need this, is because I still need to sustain my stamina. So to be able to sustain your stamina, you need also the 3 Crowns Brooch amulet is a important part of this build. Also, you need open sockets on your rings so that you can put a barrel, a gem in it, which gives stamina regeneration speed. If you don't have the O'Malley's Lucky Belt, then you will get an open socket and also put a barrel in there. Now between these 4 items, you should have good stamina regeneration. If you don't have the O'Malley's and you have an open socket, you should be okay with that. So that's the reason why I have this. So if I have an open socket belt and not the O'Malley's, I would have taken these 2 points out and put them into melee weapon damage. Well, put the attack damage here and then 1 into melee weapon damage, which will increase your Wings of Ishmir damage. So having open socket rings, very important. Having this brooch, 3 Crowns Brooch amulet is very important. Part of the build is a must. And if you want to use an O'Malley's belt, then you will have to use the 20% stamina regen, or you can get an open socket and put a barrel in there, and then, like I said, replace the points that I just showed you from the 20% stamina regen. As for gear, I try to get all of my gear with ferocity and attack speed, and then life. Those are the 3 main attributes I'm focused on this character. I do have low life here, but it's because I'm still gearing this guy up, so I haven't really like min-maxed this character. So ferocity, attack speed, life. That's the main things you need. As much attack speed as you can. So agility and or attack speed can help. So each of these, most of these skills have this fire rate of fire. I'm sorry. So the higher the rate of fire, okay, the faster the skill is in general. So it also applies for like bleeding edge. So you got rate of fire here, which is 22 as well. So the higher the rate of fire, the easier it is for you to release the skill, and the quicker the skill will orbit around you. So, but in this case, we're just mainly focused on Wings of Ishmir. And it is why we use Sovereign Shout as the secondary skill, because Sovereign Shout gives a buff which increases your attack speed by 25%. It increases both attack speed and casting speed, but we're mainly using it for the attack speed. Let's go here. So for modifiers on my skills, I have increased flight speed, which is gonna help with Wings of Ishmir being faster. We have create a damage dealing shockwave. So this is like an AoE. It helps for clearing, and it's extra damage. And no longer has a cooldown. Costs 1 stamina point to use. So this is why it's important to maintain your stamina regen, because when you convert your Wings of Ishmir to be used by stamina, then to support it you have to have enough regen. If not, then there is a cooldown of 10 seconds to use Wings of Ishmir. And for the secondary skill and modifiers, we have grants rage per enemy hit by shout. Actually, I don't know if I don't think I can really change that. I don't really benefit from it because I don't use bleeding edge. For the second one, we have increased the likelihood of health glows spawning while this ability is active. Grants bonus to all resistance per enemy hit by shout. Increases the duration of buff granted by this skill. Increases the effectiveness of all buffs granted by this skill and other skills. So, I mean, like I said, I had this clicked on, but there's no use for this modifier, to be honest. And that's pretty much all the skills I use. I have bleeding edge here and I have mark of impurity there, but I barely use them. Sometimes I use mark on bosses just to weaken them some, but I mainly focus on just jumping around most of the time. Also, I had a viewer that he told me that I should try to explain how I path this character, considering somebody that may want to play him from level 1. So in my opinion, if you're going to play this character from level 1, the way I would do it will be grabbing all these nodes here, all this attack damage, critical hit damage nodes here, skipping these 2 nodes for now, and then climbing over to this side and getting these nodes, climbing over to this side and picking up all these nodes as well, and the life leech. Life leech can help while leveling up. Then you can climb up over this way and go up to here, then grab these 2 points and then grab this last point, and then climb up through here. For now, you're not going to use the stamina till the end, because you need to have a level 20 Wings of Ishmir. But if you do get your Wings of Ishmir to level 20, just make sure you have enough stamina regen, because without enough stamina regen, then you're gonna pretty much run out of stamina. So the staminas, I leave them for last. Then I climb over this way, pick up Retaliator, and then end it here. and then I pick up the last 4 points. That's the way I did it while leveling up this character. So you come through here, you stop here, you leave these 2 nodes, then you come to the other side, you travel, and you pick up all these nodes over here, and then you come all the way up to Killer Instinct, and then pick up these 2, and then pick up this one. Because if you're not doing enough critical hits, if you don't have a high chance of critically hitting your opponent or the mob, then you're gonna lose out on a lot of damage with this node. So you just gotta have, make sure that you have high critical hit chance, and then just continue up here and finish the rest. So that's the way I will path this character while leveling. And I think I went through everything. So attributes page is done. Skills and modifiers I spoke about them. And yeah, so right now my character has 53.5 critical hit chance. So that's pretty good. And I have 478 critical hit damage. So this is multiplicative right here. This critical hit damage is multiplicative. All right, so let me show you guys some gameplay. Normally what I do is I just try to keep my shout up at all times. So you can either hold, since I have it here, I try to hold my right clicker down while I'm hopping with number 1. And I use my mouse to direct where I want to hop to. So shout. Sorry for the lag there. Usually happens in the beginning of a dungeon. Okay, it's pretty laggy today, but that's pretty much the playstyle to this character. Just keep that shout up so that you can have that increased attack speed and just run around. It actually helps to clear the entire dungeon a lot faster than most builds do, because you're able to like pretty much hop all over the place. So if you're farming for gear, just don't get too focused on traveling the entire map and then forget that you're actually killing. And that's pretty much the playstyle to this character. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. It's actually pretty simple. Just keep shout up and just hop all over the place, kill everything. Just don't forget to loot if you're trying to loot anything. But that's pretty much it. If you enjoy the build, if you have any questions, any suggestions, please put them in the comments. If you want to see more gameplay, you can check me out at Twitch. I'll leave a link in the descriptions. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Hope you can make something out of this. Maybe something better. Just keep in mind that this build is offline. It will not work online. At least not this fast. So playing this skill online, you will technically be going about that slow, around there. Could be maybe a little faster, but not as fast as you were just watching it. So playing this online, you might want to use a combination of bleeding edge while hopping around, so that you can deal more damage to your mobs. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like it, like I said, comment in the make a comment at the bottom to let me know. I appreciate all comments, especially constructive criticism comments. I love learning, and I love showing what I can as for teaching or whatever. So either way, enjoy, have fun, and happy hunting.